The day before the wedding, my future mother-in-law Mary Johnson posted a short video online. In the clip, Mary knelt on the ground with a rag, crawling inch by inch to soak up rainwater puddles on the village road. The caption read, "For my soon-to-arrive daughter-in-law. In my past life." John shoved his phone in my face. "Honey, Mom's being so good to you. You'd better take good care of her later." Touched by this display, I'd willingly become the family's workhorse after marriage, even quitting my job to care for Mary when she became paralyzed. Meanwhile, John leveraged his devoted son image to seduce his boss's daughter. To eliminate burdens, he eventually killed both Mary and me. Now reborn at this pivotal moment, I beat him to the punch. "Your mom's being so good to you. You'd better take good care of her later." Mom, Ivy. Don't blame me. I can't marry Xiaoyu unless you're both gone. The sealed room, burning charcoal brazier, and my weakening body made me realize the truth. I lunged toward the voice. "John, what did you give me? What are you doing?" My husband of 5 years watched coldly from the doorway before slamming it shut. As the last cracks disappeared, so did my consciousness. "Sweetheart. Look." John waved his phone excitedly. "Mom's being so sweet to you, even I'm jealous." The video showed Mary in that same pink housecoat, repeating her water-soaking act on the busy village road. The sudden sunlight made me dizzy. Witnessing the identical scene from my past life, realization struck. I'd been reborn. Tomorrow's our wedding. Since John's family lives rurally, I'm staying at a nearby town hotel tonight to simplify tomorrow's arrangements. The bridesmaids had already left after decorating. Only the two of us remained. Studying John's familiar profile, I took deep breaths to suppress my hatred. Thankfully, he remained engrossed in scrolling through the video's sparse comments. "Best mother-in-law ever. Lucky daughter-in-law." The clumsy emojis and typos suggested older viewers. I smirked at Mary's stiff movements and spotless clothes. She'd never been domestic, unlike most women of her generation. She'd been pampered since marriage. Every time I'd seen their shabby meals and messy home, John excused it as Mom never learned housekeeping. How foolish I'd been to ignore the truth. They couldn't even pretend to care. Sigh. Mom's going through all this trouble for our wedding, but it's worth it for my Ivy. He moved to boot my nose. Our old lover's gesture. Now it repulsed me. I dodged subtly. "She's doing this for you, not me. Since Mary's so devoted, you should take good care of her later." He blinked, recovering smoothly. "Of course. My mom's your mom now. We'll care for her together." I barely suppressed an eye roll. In my past life, I'd learned the term filial duty outsourcing, perfect for John. In his world, every parental sacrifice was for the wife. The house down payment? For the wife. Their endless labor? For the wife. Who'd endure this for a stranger? By shifting responsibility, he could milk his parents dry, marry a new bloodbag, then discard her when useless. That marriage certificate only bound me, never him. Citing our early start tomorrow, I rushed John home. When the elevator hit 1, I knocked on the neighboring bridesmaid's door. "Lily." I collapsed into her arms. "What's wrong? Don't tell me you're getting cold feet now?" She emphasized now, trying to lighten the mood. After closing the door, I spilled my entire previous life story. Though unbelievable, Lily wept openly by the end. Wiping tears, she asked, "So what now? Cancel the wedding? Just leave?" I shook my head. Most of my guests had already checked into the hotel due to travel distance, and canceling the ceremony now would fuel gossip. Besides, I wanted everyone to witness this mother-son duo's true colors. I showed Mary's social media account to Lily, asking her influencer friends to boost the posts. If that woman craved attention, she'd get it in spades. After settling everything, I slept soundly in Lily's room until my makeup artist arrived. The mirror reflected my unlined face, no deep wrinkles or age spots yet. Everything could still be fixed. The procession rolled through town until Wilson family relatives blocked our cars at the village entrance. John went to negotiate while casting frequent glances my way. reading Lily's text confirming the video had gone viral. I smirked. Darling. We need to discuss something. John finally said with feigned remorse. Mom says your $800 dowry demand is outrageous. How about $1? $800? We'll make it up later. We're family now, why waste money? Poor Mom wore herself out cleaning the driveway yesterday for your grand entrance. His puppy dog eyes almost convinced me. Last life. I'd secretly accepted this compromise. Only to end up penniless after miscarrying and becoming Mary's full-time caretaker. That hag would accidentally spill water, demand bathroom assistance despite adult diapers, and play victim whenever John came home. My supposed cruelty cost me odd jobs until I begged for $50 monthly allowance. Well, screw their mercy. But reducing the public wedding gift too? I protested. Won't that embarrass your family? John relaxed, thinking I'd yielded. Mom stuffed newspapers in the envelope. No one will notice. At the ceremony, I handed tea to Mary. Mom, your tea. Good girl. She beamed, passing me a brick-thick red envelope. Build a happy home with my John. The crowd murmured appreciatively until Lily accidentally ripped the envelope during our fake struggle. Newspaper scraps fluttered down like confetti. Mary shrieked. What's this nonsense? John quickly blamed Lily. No harm done. Folks. Just a misunderstanding. I cut through his act. You demanded $7,000 less dowry at the village gate. Now fake wedding gifts? Is this how Wilsons treat brides? Lily amplified the drama. Who stops the bride's procession? Can't afford a real wedding? Go be someone's house husband then. Young relatives backpedaled. Aunt Mary said we were getting candy. We'd never help cheat the bride. As female relatives hustled protesters out, I dropped my bouquet. This farce ends now. No marriage without respect. I stared at John and spoke calmly. John seemed surprised I wanted to call off the engagement, quickly grabbing my arm. Honey, don't be rash. We've been together so long. Don't listen to gossip. I just started my career and can't afford the $88,000 dowry right now. You had money for a new car but not for our marriage? I retorted. John had recently bought a vehicle using family funds while we were discussing wedding expenses. Though uncomfortable, I'd assumed it was his family's money to spend. Now he claimed poverty. All my savings went into the car. Then marry your damn car. My voice rose as Mary's face flushed crimson under relatives' smirks. The older woman lunged forward, bony finger jabbing at my face. You ungrateful slut. Ruining this blessed day. No wonder your parents abandoned you, worthless trash. My John's doing you a favor even considering marriage. You deserve zero dowry. Mom. Stop. John tugged her sleeve. Stop what? I warned you about this fatherless hussy. Easy to control. You said. Made me wipe puddles all day for her. Look where that got us. Suddenly a wiry man in his 50s stepped between us. Don't you dare. Ivy has parents, I'm her father. My stepfather glared wordlessly at the Wilsons, hands trembling. He was my mother's second husband. After my parents' divorce in high school, I'd refused to live with either parent, Mom already remarried, Dad gambling his days away. Grandma took me in instead. I never contacted Mom again after Grandma died. Yet here stood this man who'd quietly attended my disastrous wedding. Just like in my previous life. Uncle, my throat tightened. He turned with a strange smile. Your mother wanted to come. She made me promise photos. Mary stumbled back theatrically as John shot me accusatory looks. Ivy. Is this how you want our wedding? Letting your new dad attack my mother? Perfect. Time for waterworks. Attack? You're defending her abuse? I want a divorce. You said it. John snapped. Ignoring him, I noted the photographer's blinking red light. The show was over. Let's go. My stepfather pulled me toward the exit as Lily called over her shoulder, better check social media. Mary. You're famous. In the limo. I opened TikTok. Just as Lily predicted, Mary's devoted mother-in-law act had gone viral. Comments roasted her performance. Future arguments: I wiped puddles for you. No broom? No mop? Just street theater for the neighbors. Translation: too cheap for red carpet. I snorted at the sarcastic hashtags. John's panicked texts flooded in. What did you do to Mom's account? Answer me. Let's talk this through. I silenced notifications. The Wilson family group chat already buzzed with wedding footage. Relatives mocked Mary's humiliation. Some lingering at the Wilson home for live updates until Mary physically attacked an aunt midstream. Back at the hotel, I returned gifts and canceled reservations. Friends offered condolences as I checked out. In the lobby, my stepfather stood awkwardly. Ivy, he fumbled with his phone. We should have protected you from that trash. If he bothers you again. Uncle? I interrupted. Can I come home? His weathered face lit up. Yes. Yes. Your mother, she's been waiting, he dialed with shaking hands. We'll tell her right now. He rambled on. On the day of your college entrance exam. She went too. When she saw you walk out looking relaxed, she immediately told me you'd definitely nailed it. And when you left for college, she worried about you traveling alone and insisted on going with you. But she'd never traveled far either. So I went along. We both ended up at the wrong campus. Can you believe it? I laughed through my tears. In my past life, I'd foolishly mistaken the Wilson family's conditional affection for real love. Now I understood how wrong I'd been. I'd failed both myself and those who truly cared about me. Mom. I threw myself into her embrace. Mom ushered me inside, brushing a willow branch over my shoulders to cleanse the bad energy. My stepfather opened his arms expectantly. Do me too. Our modest living room held a feast of my childhood favorites. The years with Grandma had taught me to eat whatever was served. Mom remembered every picky preference from my early years. Stepfather raised his glass to Ivy escaping that nightmare. This is your home now. Stay forever if you want, your mom and I will always support you. Our glasses clinked. When I woke in Mom's bed next morning, Stepfather had already left for work after buying breakfast. My phone exploded with notifications. John had bombarded every platform. I blocked him everywhere except one message: 9 a.m. tomorrow. City Hall. After confirming receipt, I blocked his last remaining contact. John arrived punctually. Ivy. Must you be so heartless? Save the drama. Let's get this over with. He hesitated. Fine. But you owe half the wedding costs. You humiliated me publicly. John Wilson. Where's your shame? The venue was a free abandoned basketball court. Hotel was $4,140. Wedding planner $8,000. Dress $3,600. Round it down, you owe me $9,000. Consider my wasted youth a donation to the stray dogs. He sputtered. Reverse rounding? You're desperate. You insisted on cutting every corner. I paid for quality myself. Your $200 per table banquet wasn't worth claiming. His face reddened. You'll regret this. I scoffed at his cliché defiance. After grabbing lunch, I headed to work. The office tension was palpable. Mary burst from the conference room. Sleeves rolled up. There you are. Ivy. Can't hide forever. Michael trailed behind. Faux concerned. Ma'am. Let's discuss this calmly. Since my promotion blocked his niece's advancement, Michael had been waiting for this moment. Colleagues scattered as Mary wailed dramatically on the floor. My poor son spent our life savings on this gold digger. We bought the car. Paid the dowry. She paused for effect. Then she humiliates us over some trivial fee. Michael helped her up. Playing mediator. How much did you lose? $4,500. Snickers erupted. I leaned back. Mary. Where's your precious son? Too cowardly to face me? Her act crumbled. You homewrecker. Careful. I warned. Assault charges would embarrass your mama's boy. Michael feigned seriousness. This reflects poorly on our company. Ms. Peterson. Explain yourself. I stood, addressing the crowd. The Wilsons used an abandoned court as their venue. Their total expenses wouldn't cover our office coffee fund. As Mary sputtered, I added, security? Perhaps we should involve proper authorities. The color drained from both their faces. What's so funny? Is $4.500 not money? Young people these days have no idea how hard it is to earn a living. Seems your family truly can't provide more. Michael stepped in to mediate. Turning to Ivy with feigned solemnity, Ivy, look at this mess. The negative impact is unacceptable. Handle this immediately, or the company will not retain employees with ethical flaws. How do you suggest I handle it? Ivy asked. Per Mary's request. You should issue a public apology and repay the losses. If needed, we could grant unpaid leave, though your position might be reassigned upon return. Ivy laughed. A public apology would mean admitting Mary's accusations were true. Effectively ending her career. No one partners with frauds. As for unpaid leave? By the time she returned, her position would be long gone. Who died and made you sheriff? How dare you take that tone? Perfectly reasonable. You're condemning me without evidence just to install my niece as department head, aren't you? Michael glanced nervously at whispering coworkers. Nonsense. I simply won't tolerate my staff exploiting elders. Your personal drama has disrupted operations. Let's discuss this privately. Mary? Mary glared daggers at Ivy. Oh, didn't you alert her when I arrived? The frosted conference room walls hid nothing, except Michael's earlier peek through the door crack. When her manager card failed, Mary dropped to her knees clutching Ivy's legs. Ivy, I'm begging, return the money. John agreed to divorce you already. Oh her? The debt mountain stood taller. I spent equal amounts. Should he repay me too? What does a woman need with money? John needs funds for marriage and children. As Mary raged, Ivy yelled, help! Elder abuse. Someone stop her. Let's drop the assault charges. Mary. But when your son pimped me to his father-aged boss, why not send his mistress instead? Your family never treated me human. Mary tried retracting her hands, but Ivy guided them to rhythmically pound her own thighs, surprisingly therapeutic. Colleagues swarmed to separate them. During the scuffle, Ivy accidentally tangled Mary's hair in a zipper, slipped onto her hand, bumped her knee, and overturned takeout containers. By separation, Mary resembled a disheveled beggar. Security arrived. Brother Jiang. We've got a trespassing panhandler, Ivy declared. The guard hesitated before politely escorting the grime-covered elder out. Mary spat final words, Ivy. I'll haunt this company daily until you break. Ivy shrugged, empty threat. She'd come today to resign anyway. Post-commotion. Michael ordered resumed work, summoning Ivy to his office. Ivy. Today's circus damaged our reputation. Take a month's unpaid leave to sort your mess while we transition your duties to my niece. Unnecessary. I quit effective immediately. Then brief her now. Gladly. During handover, Ivy emailed security footage to all staff, Michael and a married female colleague working late, hands interlocked entering the conference room. 3 minutes later, they emerged adjusting wrinkled clothes. Last timeline. This affair had driven the woman to resign under gossip, while Mary's continued harassment and Michael's marital dramas eventually got him fired. Homebound. Ivy edited wedding footage from photographers. Though Mary's original post vanished, screenshots lived eternally online. Ivy's new upload went viral instantly. Thank God she escaped that toxic family. The groom's murderous stare chilled my bones. Fake. No real people act like this. Congrats, you're today's only you clown. Just because you haven't seen it doesn't mean it's fiction. Netizens soon recognized Mary as the recent teardrop scammer from viral posts. Comments exploded, that's the same sob story granny from last week. Image, compare. 100% match. My classmate's mom confirmed everything in the video's true. Many villagers from the same area as the Wilson family flocked to their doorstep to film videos for clout, dramatically recounting the day's events. Influencers soon descended too. live streaming outside the Wilson residence while soliciting donations, tossing bouquets of flowers one moment and hurling rotten eggs the next, waving glow sticks before splashing paint buckets. In the videos, Mary was visibly overwhelmed, hiding inside her home, too terrified to step out. In our previous life, Mary had haggled relentlessly to save $2 on bus fare, convincing a villager hauling goods to the city to let us hitch a ride in his truck. What began as a simple favor spiraled when Mary pressured him to drive us all the way to the hospital entrance. Though reluctant, the driver agreed out of pity for an elderly woman and pregnant passenger. The collision happened en route. Our truck smashed into a red light-running sedan. I lost my unborn child and became infertile, while Mary suffered permanent paralysis. The car driver paid compensation, but John remained unsatisfied, abandoning his bedridden mother and me at the hospital. He harassed the truck driver's family for more money. The devastated driver initially refused, but when John started threatening his grandson's school, the family reluctantly paid $50,000 to end the nightmare. This time, thanks to my intervention, nobody dared approach Mary, let alone offer her transportation. Part of me regrets she's still walking around unscathed. Meanwhile, John endured endless prank calls until he finally shut off his phone, inadvertently missing a crucial client call that cost his company a major contract, a windfall for their competitors. In our past life, that deal earned him executive recognition. Now, terminated for professional negligence with a tarnished reputation, no firm would hire him, destroying his chances with his former boss's daughter. During the mandatory cooling-off period's end, John and I reconvened at the courthouse, gaunt and disheveled. He barely resembled the cocky man I'd married. I arrived glowing in fresh makeup and a new dress, ready for rebirth. Ivy. I'm sorry. I was wrong. John launched into apologies immediately. Can't we start over? Delete those videos, please? No. His remorse was as genuine as a $3 bill, just another performance now that he'd lost his free maid and income. He was gambling on my soft heart to restore his reputation. Then I'm not signing anything, he snarled. You ruined me? We'll stay chained together forever. I smirked. On cue, my stepfather and brother arrived with a crew of rainbow-haired teens. John blanched at the tattooed squad. Back off. I'm calling the cops. Relax. I purred. Worst case scenario? Some broken bones that'll heal in weeks. These vocational school kids my brother recruited aren't even 18. Doubt they'll hit too hard. I examined my manicure. As your lawful wife, I'll simply sign a forgiveness affidavit if things get messy. All color drained from John's face at underage. He capitulated, trailing me into the courthouse like a scolded child. Holding the divorce decree, I exhaled years of tension. Mission accomplished. Kids. I called to the waiting group. Internship certificates coming right up. Laughter erupted as they removed their neon wigs, just my brother's summer break buddies from local colleges. John lunged, sputtering this was all fake. You tricked me, Ivy. We drove off without glancing back. After quitting my job, I'd partnered with a brilliant developer I remembered from our past life. His assistive app had helped 500 million disabled users worldwide before, technology I'd once relied on while caring for Mary. Now, I'm witnessing its creation firsthand. Our Family Care 1.0 launched imperfect but promising, earning rave reviews. My first profits funded strategic investments from past life memories, securing financial freedom. I established a domestic staffing agency training underprivileged women, teaching them elder care skills so they'd never need to depend on others like I had. One autumn evening, a reeking figure hunched on a skateboard blocked my path. As I fumbled for change, the crone wailed, Ivy. Daughter. I finally found you. It took minutes to recognize Mary beneath the grime. History had repeated, she was paralyzed again. Despite the freezing wind, she wore a filthy men's tee, her matted white hair stiff with neglect. Blood oozed through makeshift cloth bandages on her hands. I made mental note to reapply hand cream. Ivy. Don't you remember? I'm your mother-in-law. John's mom. She lunged for my coat hem. I sidestepped smoothly. What do you want? You remember too, don't you? She pleaded. Please. I'm sorry. Take me in. Just scraps. Please. John's a monster. He tried killing his own mother. So she'd regained past memories too. Your legs? That bastard. She spat. Tried stealing my gold chain, last of my savings. When I caught him, he shoved me off the balcony. Loan sharks found me bleeding out. Call the police. She hesitated. Well, still protecting him? Go beg your precious son then. I turned away. But her wail echoed behind me. Where's your compassion? I kept walking. Some karma even Rebirth can't erase. Ivy. You can't say that. He is still my son after all. I shook my head and pointed toward a direction. Irritation lacing my voice. If you don't want to call the police, then deal with it yourself. There's a diner over there that dumps their kitchen waste every night. Act pitiful enough and maybe they'll spare you some scraps. I turned away without another glance. Days later, my intern brother sent me a news link at work. Local man arrested for allegedly murdering biological mother. Suspect currently in police custody. According to sources, suspect John resided at the old Ocean Pit residence in Dragon Bay. His mother had been paralyzed from the waist down 2 months prior after falling from a balcony. Reportedly frustrated with daily caregiving duties, John frequently abused his mother before allegedly murdering her with an axe in the early hours of November 14th. Below are statements from neighbors. That John was a gambling addict. Debt collectors pounded on his door daily. Scared my daughters-in-law into fleeing with their kids back to our hometown. When will authorities handle this? I've even got audio recordings. That night got real ugly. Wanted to intervene but my wife stopped me. Thank God I listened. He played a clip. Ivy? Where are you? I want chicken soup. Skim the fat. Wait, you're not Ivy. Bring me Ivy. Eat this. All you do is demand food. Why don't you just die? Should have died in that fall. Son, John, stop. Please. This is your fault. Your meddling ruined my marriage prospects. Look what I've become. I don't want Ivy anymore. Never. Closing the article left me numb. They'd reaped what they sowed. Ivy. Lunch is here. Mom entered the office with containers. Hey Mom. Where's Dad? Special dinner preparations for your birthday. He'll have it ready when you get home. My brother lifted a lid. Why does my pork rib portion look smaller than hers? Look how thin your sister is. You could stand to lose weight anyway. Always favoring her, he grumbled. Yet slid his last 2 ribs into my container. I smiled. The darkness had passed. Ahead lay nothing but bright, unburdened days.